Honey, we are back with a part 2 of the AL versus Males manager Dawn Michelle. I am your girl, brand new. And honey, let's get into it. Listen. So, we got to get the people's opinion about this, honey. The people, okay? It's not official until we hear what the people think about this. This right here is a mess, okay? Just a mess. Okay, so one person says, I don't understand why, if he had an issue with Male's manager, why place Male's face in his mess instead of directing his concerns directly to Dawn. I think that Male has to be extra careful about people who she allows into her circle. He threw her name into the mix to get Dawn's attention and to cause a rise out of the mellow meters. It takes an individual of integrity to be direct and to point truthfully and address another individual without feeling the need to pull others into the mix. Whatever his beef was, he should have addressed it directly with the actual individual and not send out vague comments to social media to subscribers, asking them to give opinions on things they don't even know the full picture. That was wrong and deceitful towards his subscribers. It wasn't like he couldn't contact Dawn and clarify the matter without involving viewers and subscribers in his BS. People like Male and Dawn have to always watch these people who are extra, trying to get next to them and get in their mix or circle uninvited, because there is always an agenda behind their efforts to get next to them. Most reality TV stars are women, and most of their followers are women. When a male comes from out of the blue to insert themselves in the mix of a crowd of females and their fans, which is more like girl talk type social makeup, then their motives and agendas should be questioned. Why? Because men usually gravitate towards male forums and women usually gravitate towards female forums. Women need to be more selective of who they allow into their circle. It's difficult enough to deal with other females as Black women. Don't allow others to insert themselves into your circle with their unknown motivations and agendas. Could be filled with negativity, envy, and jealousy, chaos, and division. Beware, as the song says, smiling faces. I know that's right. Smiling faces sometimes, okay? That was the song, honey. That was the song back in the day, honey. Okay. Was that the Intruders, honey? Okay, don't let Miss Robinson get to looking it up, honey. But that was my song, honey. It's so true. Okay. Another person says what Queen Sheba did was silence the noise, and with AL, he was doing things behind the scenes and always alleging to know something or someone that no one else had access to. He has been using and manipulating this entire time. He is not a trustworthy person. Another person says sometimes people do things unsolicited, but have expectations in return. Possibly since favors were given and a relationship was developing, the content creator may have thought Dawn would not work with the person he didn't like. Another person says, I just started out just listening to Anthony's lives, but as time went by, he started, in my opinion, being messy. Child. Another person says, what I love most about the interview that Queen Sheba did with Dawn was she answered the questions, gave explanations, said she didn't know when she didn't, and provided receipts, and ended with, I have no ill will for AL, spoken like a true professional that knows none of this stops or really has any impact on what she actually does. As for AL, I hope he is doing well mentally, because it seems like all of this was from him leading with emotions, which is a no-no in business. It should always be business and never personal. I hope he has learned from this and can one day apologize for his mistakes to the people he attacked and move on from this. When it's your time, it's your time. There is no need to put anyone down to make yourself look good. Ooh, now that's right there was a word. Okay. Now the person says, I understand Dawn's desire to mentor people. I also have an altruistic spirit and want to help as many people as possible. However, you learn to back off when people become a problem and don't want to heed your advice. Young people have to understand protocol and practice patience. That's not saying to hide your talent or dim your light, but to focus and move in a way that is credible and with integrity. I enjoy hearing from Dawn Michelle. I recognize Melody partners with great professionals. Yes, she does, honey. Okay. Another person says that Dawn Michelle sounds totally appropriate, professional, confident, and experienced. This is the type of confusion that takes place when you're dealing with an up-and-coming talent that are not used to being in the so-called game. I mean, even content creators are not astute to the level of professionalism and networking. I should say not all content creators. Some of the content creators allow too many individuals on their platforms that are friends or associates that aren't necessarily professionals, and this is what happens. Total chaos for no reason. I see a lot of impatience, a lot of empty promises, a lot of inexperience on one side, in my opinion. Okay, what do y'all think of that? These are some great comments, honey. Okay, the people came through. Another person says Anthony pulled a Stormy, charging people to pay fines. Marcel charging people to buy groceries. Anthony charging people to become a member for the hell of it. The tea wasn't perking. It was just wrong. Oh, child. Another person says, I've been called out AL a few months ago when he hinted at Mel's team needing him for connections. Listen, I called him out on that and he responded with some BS answer. Mel and Dawn did not and never needed him for his boyfriends, in quotation marks, connections. AL is a switch team type of a person. Now he'll probably start posting as a Mel hater when Mel did nothing to this social climbing arse. He got too cocky and greedy for his own good. Okay, another person says, it's funny because when Anthony first started, I really liked him, but I'm an investigator by trade. Therefore, I study people. I quickly realized something was off, which was confirmed with this interview. He was trying to play himself bigger than what he was. And then reality hit. Ooh, child. What do y'all think of that, honey? The people are showing up and showing out, honey, in this comment section, honey. Now, the person says, I always felt this man really hates women like the majority of the men that watch and review Love and Marriage Huntsville. And he definitely wants to be in Mel's position. He wants to work with Jay Bolin as well. The cast members want to be in Mel's position too. They hate her, yet want to be managed by her manager. This woman helps make connections for Mel, sure. Now, really quickly, Mel's manager said Tiffany wanted her to manage her. Destiny, honey. Okay, Destiny. Yeah, that's interesting. But the person goes on to say, but it's more than that. Mel has star quality, poise, grace, experience in front of and behind the camera, a proven successful businesswoman, just so much to offer. These other people do not. That is true. That is true, because Tiffany does not give star quality. She just don't. Okay, Tiffany nosy, she petty, she be in your business. Destiny be trying to hide her information. Destiny just seemed like she likes to be a tag along, like she likes to be a socialite. Okay? That's what it gives. It just does not give, that star quality that Melody and hell, even Martell had when they first started the show. It just don't none of them other people on that show, add up to the hosts. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying. The person goes on to say it's gotten too sketchy and treacherous waters to tread. She should be very selective in whom she chooses to grant access in interviews. Yeah, I agree, honey. Another person says, this was a great interview between Queen Sheba and Dawn Michelle. However, one of the biggest things that stood out to me that I am still perplexed about is that Dawn Michelle really did not seem to be upset about AL recording her or saying negative things about her business dealings and or relationship with him. She also did not necessarily confirm that she will no longer speak with AL or conduct business with him. It almost came off like she was excusing his actions. That was odd to me and just makes me feel like some type of way about her in connection with her relationship with Melody, because many were trying to tell her in the chat how AL was coming for Melody and she did not seem bothered by it. Just perplexing to me. Ooh, child, that's interesting. What y'all think of that, honey? Okay, what do y'all think of that? Another person says, the listeners ain't listening. Dawn just laid it all out. Where is all the confusion coming from? She says something happened in Texas that had Anthony in his feelings. He called Dawn and disclosed the details of what happened, and she told him to keep it cute, professional. Prior to the incident, Dawn had been working with him as his unofficial manager. For whatever reason, he was unhappy with Dawn's advice pertaining to the Texas incident and decided to turn on her. I think he's mad at Mel because from what I gather, she was involved in the Texas incident. Now, ladies, please keep it up. Oh, now please, ladies, keep up. Oh, child, what happened? What happened? Look, who said that? What happened in Texas? Y'all put it in the comment section, okay? So another person comments to this and says, as I am keeping up, I heard in this interview, AL expressed being unhappy with another content creator being included on the project Dawn Michelle was working with him on. Another person says, I am a fan of Melody, but not a melometer. That said, this was a great interview. I hope that Anthony chills with recording people and being so quick to share his receipts publicly. People will shy away from working with him. You can't trust someone who does things like that. Yeah, you gotta watch, the stuff that you do to people, because like some people, they'll start bragging, look at what I got on this person. Look at this, look at that. And then you over there taking in all the information and then not knowing, honey, you next on the roster. Because what somebody will do to somebody else, they will do to you. People have patterns of behavior. I tell y'all that all the time. They have a pathology when it comes to their behavior. Everybody has that, just from being human, right? So, yeah, honey, he gonna have to clean up his reputation, honey, because the people is not fooling with AL. And it's sad because, a lot of people like him. They think he's funny, informative, intelligent, but you want to have good intentions when dealing with everybody, right? You don't want to, be using information against people, weaponizing it and, just doing all this evil and malicious, unnecessary, frivolous stuff. It's unnecessary, okay? And it only hurts you and your business in the long run, okay? So another person says, what I got out of all of this was AL heard something about Texas and chose to BEL. He chose to believe and spill his message. Okay. Believing Mel was wrong, and Dawn said stay out of that, and he went full speed ahead into the messiness, that part. Yeah, you can't do stuff like that. That's like saying you're really cool with somebody, you like and respect them, and then you just turn on them. And then you all up in their business. And then, you just have to be cognizant of how you come off. Because you can't sit in somebody's face saying that you they friend, you they supporter, and then you doing things that the enemy would do, which is what a lot of people do these days. They do snake stuff. Okay, and like I always say, it's so unnecessary. You don't want to be known as a person operating like that, right? Without, morals, values, decorum, etiquette, integrity, Another person says, I feel AL is doing the same thing to Don Michelle that he did to his mod and bought the cake. If you don't do what he wants you to do, then he uses his YouTube platform to destroy your personal and professional reputation. I saw him when he told BT what she should and shouldn't do. The sheer arrogance to disrespect her in that way. I saw that. Then he has an overinflated opinion of himself. I also see his ambition, and I sense that he would do anything to get what he wants. Anthony used Mel's name to simultaneously use her to get views on his video to imply that since Dawn Michelle is a part of her team, that she and Mel was suspect too. He's attempting to tarnish both women with the same brush. Ooh, child. Another person says, I saw right through Anthony the moment I laid eyes on that spirit. He seems too hasty and desperate. He gave me the impression that he'd do anything for fame. I mean anything. He has no loyalty to anyone, and if you trust him, you're foolish. Guys, pray for a spirit of discernment. This person got decrement, honey. Okay, everybody shouldn't be allowed to eat at your table. There are wolves in sheep's clothing. Melody will continue to encounter these types of spirits until she learns to recognize them, which may be the reason she doesn't get too personal with content creators. Yeah, there is another content creator that she's cool with. I believe Bondi Blue. But Bondi, you can, in my opinion, right, from what I've seen, right, because I haven't seen everything, but Bondi seems like she's really fond of Melody and she cares about her well-being, not, oh, I'm going to try to use your well-being so I can get ahead and I can get the views and the followers and the money and the likes, the clicks and the views and, so you got to really watch yourself, honey, in these here streets. But, honey, that's all I got and ain't got no more. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out in the next video.